Welcome to the Geek Easy. Sit back, grab a libation of your choice, and relax, 'cause it's time to do some geek stuff in the Geek Easy. Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's grab a beverage of your choice, because today we are going to be reviewing Babylon 5: The Road Home, the new animated movie in the Babylon 5 universe. So, what we have here is a movie it takes place 2 years after the end of the Shadow War. You have John Sheridan, who is leaving Babylon 5 for the last time, and he's going to Mimbar, where he is going to be the permanent living in the permanent home of the president of the Alliance. He is the president of the Alliance, so he's going to his permanent location on Mimbar. When he gets there, on the way there, he is talking to Dylan, saying, I don't know if I want to do this shit, because, I don't want to be a politician, because we have to go do stuff like mall openings and all this stuff, and I don't dig that. And then one of the first things he has to do when he gets there is, help turn on a new power plant, which is going to be cleaner energy. And things are sort of getting weird, because he's hearing things, and there seems to be like skips in time. And when he gets there and they turn it on, that's when shit starts going wild. He right before things just go to hell, he turns out that the machine that's doing it is powered by tachyon energy. And of course, in sci-fi, we all know what tachyon energy does. And in season 2, I think it was 2 with him? I know it was in season 2, but I don't know if I forget which one. It may have been with him. Season 2, that was a Babylon Squared. I think they went back in time to Babylon 4. And I know that at some point he went back in time too, and they used tachyon, and they had to have a little thing to keep them anchored in time. Well, since he had already experienced that, the tachyon things affected him, and he started jumping. And because he didn't have the thing to anchor him in time. None of the other people around were affected by this stuff, because they hadn't gone through it the first time. And so he's jumping through all these different times and universes, because he is not anchored in time, and he has to try and figure out how to get back to his home universe, back to the right time, the right place, back to where he disappeared from on Mimbar. And you get to, it's, on the basic sense, it's kind of the same story that you see on the basic sense, that, you go to these alternative universes. There's like one where they lost the Mimbar War, the Shadow War. Another one, the Shadow War never happened. Another one, where he might have been able to stop the Icarus crew from waking up the shadows on Zahadum. But he's also jumping through time, and he's trying to figure out he has to get back to Babylon 5, where he can go down to the Great Machine and get Zathras to get him a new thing so he can get back. There is an overall message in this movie. Aside from all the adventure, what's going on of belonging, of there's a lot of quantum theory mentioned, like the observer and the observed, it goes from particles to waves back to particles and stuff like that. That's a big component of the story. And also, they mentioned what is the most powerful element in the universe is. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's a lot of kind of philosophical and scientific discussion. It's not techno babble like they do in a certain other franchise, which happened to one of their series happened to rip off Babylon 5. But it's relatable, it's understandable. They don't get too, they discuss kind of, I don't want to say deep things, but they discuss powerful things in a way that it's just not, you take the doohickey mabobber and jam the wank thing into the jackamo, and then you're like, dude, no, just stop. And so that, the story is very well done. It's not something you have to sit there and say, what the fuck are they talking about? What type of stuff are they pulling out of their ass? My only thing that I had that I kind of questioned is, as I'm watching it, the animation. Now, I'm not saying the animation was bad. It's just not what I was expecting. Okay? Because there's animation and then there's cartoons. And yes, I know cartoons are animated. But you can also separate them out. Like cartoons, that's something that you see on Saturday morning. Or stuff like that. Or like kind of a Rick and Morty type thing. And I'm not impugning the quality of the shows or anything like this. But then there's animation where you have stuff like, say, Tron or Titan AE, where that is animation, but it's more maybe photorealistic or something like that. This leans a tad bit more to the cartoon type, and I really wasn't expecting that, but that really didn't take away from the quality of the show. Overall, you could tell who was who. I mean, you had the young Garibaldi and the older Garibaldi, because he was jumping through time. Sinclair, it was like, okay, maybe they didn't get the rights to let him do it, and the Ivanova and the other Tracy Scoggins' characters, sometimes it's a little hard to tell those apart. But other than that, I mean, that was very well done as well, even though it wasn't what I was expecting. So I am going to sit here and give this a 4.75 out of 5, just slightly because of because the animation wasn't what I was expected it to, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just maybe I had higher expectations because of the fact that it was Babylon 5. I don't know, but I was not disappointed with this thing at all. I loved it. It was great. It was, it was really exciting. I mean, there's a scene in there, and if you've seen the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It is kind of reminiscent of Galaxy Quest when they are going to the engine room. And, that's the first thing that happened in my mind, that came to mind when he's in this particular scene in the movie. You'll know what I'm talking about. So there's, little references and little funny lines that they throw in there. So there's, JMS did a great job writing it as usual, and kept the action, the suspense going. It was well worth the time and the money, or the money spent to buy it, and the time to watch. So I'm going to give this a 4.75 out of 5 and say pick it up, especially if you're a B5 fan. And so let me know in the comments below whether you watched it or not, what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy Babylon 5.